Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. Some of you are aware that in a place like this, there is a shift of energy. More than that, much more. You're starting to come of age, metaphysician. And no longer will there be those who just say, well, I felt an energy that was beautiful today. And next to them will be somebody with a scientific instrument tracking it. You're going to hear a lot about coherence. A word that you understand, you think, but maybe not. What happens when light workers get together? Not all of you here are of a mind that will believe what this is. And we say to you, if you give it a chance, it doesn't harm you to perhaps for the first time step out of the box of disbelief. But for the rest of you, you know that as the clock ticks and more of you start to feel the reality of spirit here, of the Creator in you, perhaps even in your own Akash, as the clock ticks, something happens. Some have felt that the room becomes thick, a feeling that you cannot describe or understand. Some of you have trouble with the limbs of your body, or perhaps your shoulders are feeling heavy and you can't move your feet. All of these are symptoms of something that you've not been able to explain. It's almost where the creative source comes and sits upon you for a moment and says, remember, remember, remember. Is it possible that you are eternal? Just give it a thought. Is it possible you've lived before? Is it possible that life goes on after that which is the ashes of you is here? And that particular thing that goes on is the you we talk about. That's what you see in the mirror. Not the body, not the corporeal, not the molecules, but the essence of love and compassion and coherence. And the planet in this moment, dear ones, is starting to be aware of it. I'll give several messages in the 3 days. But on the last day, it'll be very special. I want to tell you about the timing of the shift. But right now, in this room, I'm looking at the precursors of those who are studying, understanding, and starting to take interest in energy that they didn't expect. An energy that starts to have a confluence with science where they seem to blur each other. And there will be those who object. Well, where does the spirituality stop and the science start, they'll say, not understanding that they are one and the same. The more you study how God made this universe, the clearer it will become that it's heavy science and it's beautiful and the systems work in a grand fashion. What have we told you for 28 years? That consciousness is the strongest force on earth, and that it is not seen that way until now. The studies begin to show how consciousness actually can affect physics. Then you start to understand how consciousness might affect your own biology. Is it possible that consciousness is so powerful and can be focused to such a degree that you can design your own health. That nothing can exist that is inappropriate in your body if you tell it to go away. That's the power. And for 28 years, humans have said, well, that all sounds nice, but I'm not sure, and there's this and there's that. What process shall we use? What procedure? What book shall we read? How many steps do we climb? How much suffering do we have to do? Not understanding that the simplicity of it is the king. Is to get out of the way of yourself and get to the core of where that consciousness is of yours, where you can demand things of your own cellular structure. Did you know that the cells of your body, trillions of them, are all listening to the boss? They're not off doing their own thing, dear ones, unless you've ignored them. And if you've spent your life simply looking down at your body and saying to yourself, well, I hope it lasts, it'll do its own thing because there's no direction. What if instead, every single morning, you tune into your own radio station, you and your cells, and you have a broadcast. Here's what's appropriate today. I am this cell group. Here's what we are going to do today. Here's what's going to be happening in the future. Here's the health that is going to occur. You think it's just positive thinking. You say, well, affirmations are cute. What if they were powerful? What if they created that which is the focus of you with you? What if they could clean out disease? What if they could change diets without having a diet? What if they could change metabolism? Have you ever wondered why your body does what it does? Have you ever looked down and said, why have you done this to me? Because your body has an answer. And your body will say, because you never told us differently. Because you never talk to us anymore. Because you don't believe you can. Your consciousness is not in your brain. It's not in your head. It is part of every single cell in your body. It is absolutely a joined effort. And when you speak the words, all of your cells are not just listening, they're speaking with you. Those who know what I speak of have been able to clean their body of inappropriate things, not just disease, not just a health that you want. Fear, unbalance, worry. You think you were born with that? That is all of your own making, dear ones. Did you understand the attributes of fear? Fear is something that just wanders around. It's powerful because you don't say anything to it. You just let it control you. Did you ever think of that? These 3 days are an expose of you with you. These 3 days are going to help you to understand and focus what is it you can do that you haven't thought of. What is it that others around you can do with you that you didn't know about? It starts now. The planet is ready for it. The expose of the power of human consciousness. What it means, what it can do, what it's about. There'll come a day when consciousness will be able to control the physics around you because you're starting to evolve in knowledge and wisdom, and it will always be available with a compassionate eye. Compassion is the key. It always has been. It is the key to all things, including the evolution of humanity and peace on earth. Compassion of self and one with another. I'll be back with more. And so it is.